everybody, and welcome to the Marvel Future Fight v760 live stream. We are giving you the updates today for our second foray into the Eternals, which is very exciting. We have a lot of content to show off to you today, including new characters, Kingo, Gilgamesh, and Athena, got a little tongue-tied there, and new uniforms for all three of those characters as well. I want to thank you all for tuning in this time and last time, and I hope everyone enjoyed V755, the mid-month update that we previously did very recently for more Eternals. There will be stream rewards for watching the stream. The way that you can get those rewards is by doing what you're doing right now and watching this very stream. At the end, we will be revealing a coupon code that you can use to claim a free reward. And you're going to want to do that as soon as you can, because there is a time limit for when you can claim the reward. There are two different ways of doing that. Via Android, you could enter the coupon code in the coupon menu of the in-game setting menu. And for both Android and iOS, you can enter the coupon code on the coupon registration webpage. That is a link we will be sharing at the end of this stream as well. We also had a couple questions we asked you right off the top. You can still continue to answer those, and Cage and I will read some of your answers live right here tonight. And speaking of Cage, he is going to be here very soon to help us get through all of the new stuff that we are going to be seeing in game very soon. But first, take a look at this video. All right, let's bring him back.
Hello,
Here he is.
everybody.
It's your friend Cage.
Hello, everybody. It's always great to be back. Hello, agents, and hello, Kim. You know, it only seems like a little bit like, almost like yesterday, that we saw the contents for the V755 update for the first part of the Eternals. And now, yet again, now we're back.
Yeah, good to see you again. We have a lot of gameplay and features to show off today, but first I want to go over our first question that we asked the audience watching live right now, and that is, which Eternals characters' powers would you want? Of course, they all have some very cool powers involving having cosmic energy absorbed into their bodies. They're all very long-lived, hence the name Eternals, and have a lot of healing, regenerative powers. That's a long word too. I don't know why I keep challenging myself with these tongue-tie words. But they all have something that makes them a little bit unique among these very strong characters. I'm gonna go first. I would say I would like Makari's powers. Makari is the fastest being known in the entire Marvel universe, and I'm pretty impatient and late all the time. So this seems like it would be very helpful for my life.
I think it's you put a lot more thought into it. Your idea is much more practical.
You know, you just got to think about where's my greatest weakness and how can I fix that? And there we go. I do have some responses from those of you watching right now. Nice. Zarfan says Cersei's powers would be so much fun. I'd be rich in seconds. I didn't think of that.
That's actually another good idea of practical use, using your transmutation powers. That's good on you. That's a very smart way to use it.
Exactly. Nate Oliver chose the same person as me, Makari, but the reasoning was so I can run away from problems. And I don't know. I think your problems still exist no matter how fast you run, but you know, good on you, whatever. That's your answer. Blake Holden says, I would like Icarus powers. It would be amazing IRL. Raul says, Eternal's power that I want is Makari's speed. Everyone's agreeing with me. I feel like I have the right answer. Choices. So I can go to the place where my love loved ones lived. Oh,
that's nice.
that's very sweet. Let's see what else we have. Let's see. Yuan Salva, please forgive me if I mispronounced your name. Icarus, I want to fly to my ex's new. Oh no! Can I read this? My ex's new lover and use my laser eyes on him.
Interesting use. I admire the
I should have
I
gone over this
admire the
before
creativity.
I read it. Yeah, sure. Okay. And then Akmal Hanif says Gilgamesh, of course. I don't know what the of course is, but Cage, who would you pick?
Honestly, again, I prefer you put a lot more reason that many of our viewers actually use more put more thought into it. I just went on based off what was cool. I honestly liked after I did see the film, and of course, also as a disclaimer, this will be a spoiler-free stream, so you don't. For those of you who are worried about both the content and both what we'll say here, we will keep it spoiler-free. So be safe. But honestly, based off the trailers alone, I definitely would say Kingo is probably one of my favorites, just because finger guns are cool. Just being able to use that, being able to fight off deviants,
cool.
even use it for even just for the sake of just shooting things, just for the sake of doing it. That's fun. Also, Gilgamesh being able to do that cosmic like exoskeleton feature, that's also pretty fun too, to be able to have enhanced strength and use it for offense, defense. That's honestly, I went more for the idea of just what looks cool, and I say it's between the toss between those two, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and lean on Gilgamesh.
I just think, I'm probably not going to be doing that much fighting in my real life. I guess I could become a hero, which, we all have different thought processes. I was just thinking what would work for my regular life, but some of you are just keen to use laser eyes on certain people in your lives.
But you got to,
or your ex's lives.
Exes or not, laser eyes are still cool. So that's still a win in my book.
Maybe don't go after anyone's exes. That's my personal opinion. Cage, let's gracefully transfer over to the next portion of this stream.
That sounds like an excellent idea. So as you already mentioned, Kim, we have several characters. Or when I say several characters, we have a few characters and additional uniforms to go through, as well as a couple new features we will be going over as well. With that said, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the game cam and take a look at those. Just a brief moment back on screen, and as you can see, we have the Eternals, we have Gilgamesh, Athena, and Kingo, but of course they look different than probably many viewers are used to, because these are the modern looks that were based off the comics. So we're going to go ahead and start with our first Eternal, and that is Gilgamesh. Kim, for those at home who don't understand or don't fully know who not Kingo, this is Gilgamesh, who Gilgamesh is.
We'll get to him.
Yeah, we will. Go ahead and give our audience a little bit of a what to know.
Well, you mentioned it off the top. Gilgamesh is known for having a lot of strength and fortification. He is the strongest and probably the kindest member of the Eternals. Typically, he is paired with Athena as partners.
That's interesting. Yeah, in this uniform, so Gilgamesh is a combat type superhero, and just a little something to look forward to. For his tier 2 passive skill, he has true memory. So, in other words, for this with this effect, he gains 100% mind damage resistance, and he also, in addition to his bonus and skill damage, he gains a 45% increase, and basic damage received is decreased against him by 45%. So he gets a 45% decrease for those basic attacks rallied against him. So let's go ahead and take a look and see those skills on the field. All right.
Boom.
Excellent dynamic entry. Again, remember, he's a combat superhero, so his basic attack, you can see, just gives a little bit of a 1-2 punch. We're going to go ahead and reset. We're going to go ahead and start seeing those active skills. Skill number 1 is the Cosmic Punch. He does, you can see he gives a devastating punch that ends up leaving the enemy stunned, and ends with a Cosmic Blast there. Skill number 2 is God's Wrath. Let's take a look.
All right.
This is another devastating attack that leaves enemies stunned.
Yeah, it's pretty punchy and stunning.
Jumps in the air and delivers another blast from his cosmic powers. Skill number 3 is the Unstoppable Force.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, let's do that one more time. I'm going to back up over here. See it from this angle. While gaining brief invincibility, Gilgamesh performs a 1-2 punch, as you can see there, and then releases cosmic power for an attack that accumulates true damage, while causing fracture, while also dealing 105% of your character's physical attack. Moving on over here for skill number 4, we have Unchained Destruction.
Nice.
Now, there's a little something special. I will go over this more in the developer's note, but I'm going to go ahead and just go do this attack once more. Go ahead and do it over here from this angle. This attack, Gilgamesh barrages his foes with a number of stunning punches that causes them to be snared and bound. And at the same time, your basic damage and defense gain a 30% increase, and it uses 115% of your physical attack.
All right. Looks good.
Moving on over here, we're going to go to skill number 5, which is pretty cool. This is the Liberating Power. I gotta admit, that's really not a good angle. I'm actually going to go ahead and reset and do it once again over here.
Oh, good.
All right. So in addition to damage immunity, this powerful blast decreases enemies' basic defense. Decreases your enemy's basic defense, causing fracture, and increases your all basic attack by 50%.
All right.
And you can see the area of effect is actually pretty large as well. Now we're going to go ahead to move on to skill number 6, which you can already see he has a transcendent potential attack, which is the Slayer's Fist. Nice. Yeah, in this attack, as you can see, Kingo leads by actually striking from above, while Gilgamesh charges his foes. And you can see he delivers a cosmic blast. This attack, enemies are left burned, stunned, fractured, paralyzed, all while having their active debuffs removed. At the same time, Gilgamesh will gain a 40% HP recovery and an increase by 35% for his critical rate and damage. He also gains a few additional buffs as well. Reset. Now I'm going to go over the always
But
helpful.
I do want to remind everyone this is a test environment, and maybe the final numbers might be different in the final version.
That is very true. Thank you for reminding our audience of that, Kim. All right, so according to the developers, they say his survivability and recovery rate makes him a great character for PvP. And for a little tip, they said press and hold the skill 4 button for a continuous attack. So let's go ahead and try that out. I'm literally just holding the attack, because you can see he just keeps on going. Just keeps on going, like a certain bunny we all know. All right, for the developer combo,
good tip.
They recommend using skills 4, 5, and 3. Let's test it out. Skill 4, 5, and then finish it with 3. Right. And that does it for Gilgamesh. For those of you, go ahead and let us know in the comments what your thoughts are based off the first Eternal. So next we're going to go ahead and jump to the next character. And the next character on the list is actually going to be Kingo. Again, looks much different than what's currently being portrayed in the MCU version. So what can you tell us about Kingo, Kim?
Okay. Kingo is very different between the comics and the MCU film. Here, Kingo's main weapon is, instead of finger guns, swords. He double wields swords, and actually spent quite a long time in Japan training with the samurai, and a lot of his skills have a basis in that.
And little peek for his T2. His T2 is the let's see here, not my mistake. His tier 2 skill is the Katana Honing. His skill damage is increased by 25%, while his bonus damage gains a 15% increase. Basic damage received is reduced by 30%. Alright, now let's take him out for a spin. Now, first thing to know, also, he is a speed type superhero. Alright, moving on to skill number 1 is the Conversion Strike. This is an energy-based attack. Nice. For skill number 2, we're going to look at the Katana Rampage.
All right,
so
cool.
This is a stunning strike that leaves enemies bleeding. Move on to these guys over here. For skill number 3, the Shockwave Slash. As you can see here, he creates a shockwave that pushes foes back while accumulating true damage, regardless of your enemy's dodge rate. As you can see, anybody affected by the attack is also left stunned. Alright. Skill number 4 is the Deep Dash. This is an upward strike that causes foes to bleed just before hitting them with an energy blast that groups them together. And as a result, you also gain an increase of 50% for your next attack. Alright, we're going to check out skill number 5. I'm actually going to reset this one, because this one's actually is pretty interesting when you have everybody in just the right angle. This is the Pentagram Slicer. Let's check this out.
Ooh.
You can see enemies.
Whoa.
You can see enemies further back are actually drawn.
Yeah.
Let me try this one more
They
time.
were like sliding in.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, it's that same group sliding in.
And try it one more time just to see how we can take another look.
Yeah.
So again,
Round
this is
them
a
up.
wide range attack, so your
Whoa.
basic attack defense is increased by 30%, as well as you gain a couple of additional buffs as well. And then you can see also the basic defense has also decreased while leaving them paralyzed and stunned. Alright, now that we have them all grouped together, let's set this guy over here. This guy, is he lucky? Who knows?
That one rogue.
Let's test this out for skill number 6.
Okay.
Again, this is the Transcendent Potential. This is the Brethren Beatdown.
Oh, nice.
Of course, as you can see, his Gilgamesh again joins the fight and beats down his opponents as Kingo strikes from above. At the moment, the stats are the exact same as I mentioned earlier during Gilgamesh's Transcendent Potential attack. The only difference being that Kingo will not be given the HP recovery. All right. And that does it for the modern uniform, or the default uniform for Kingo.
That's right.
Now we get to move on to I recall, one of your favorite Eternals, Kim.
Yeah, on the last stream, I said I'd like to see Athena. I did not know she would be in the following update, but here she is. So
That's
I
right.
guess I got my wish, huh?
So why don't you go ahead and tell us more about Athena?
All right. Well, as we may be able to glean from her appearance, she is a very strong warrior. She's a legendary warrior and even may have been a Greek legend that you may have heard about. She has been working with the Eternals, I guess, eternally for centuries, and is frequently paired with Gilgamesh, as I mentioned earlier in Gilgamesh's intro.
Thank you for that. Now, before I actually press on with Athena, I actually glazed over the developer's notes, and the developer's notes for Kingo mentioned that he's actually a character who's actually well suited for PvE. So Gilgamesh for PvP, Kingo will actually be pretty useful for PvE. They recommend canceling with his third skill, that way you are able to gain that buff, and then attack with his skill 5 and skill 4 in that order. In other words, the recommended skill combo that the devs recommend is using this third skill, cancel it, and then proceed with skills 5 and 4. And that's still something for Kingo, right. But now we're going to go ahead and press on for Athena, who is a universal superhero.
Makes sense.
I'm actually going to talk about both this character's T2 and T3 passive skills, because something that's a little interesting for this. So her Tier 2 passive skill, which is the Eon Precision, she gains a guaranteed critical rate of plus 20% and a skill damage increase of 32% with a bonus damage increase of 35%. Now what's interesting is for her Tier 1 Victory Cry, she gains a critical rate increase of 20%, critical damage of 25%, and an additional Pierce of plus 5%. So yeah, Pierce is something that many fans have been wanting to get their hands on, so that's a very useful stat to have.
Good to know.
Now we're going to press on to check out her active skills.
Nice. Nice.
Always an elegant entry. So we're going to move on and press on for skill number 1, which is the Justice Rush.
Justice Rush.
Exactly. That's what we all need, more justice. Here she lunges forward once and then follows up with a multitude of strikes, leaving the enemy stunned and bleeding. Very cool. Skill number 2 is Destructive Dance. Here, throwing her weapon, enemies in the area are struck and forced to come closer. And since now they are close, they will have their defenses lowered. Yep, now they're up close and personal, allowing me to move on to my third skill, which is the Sword of Conviction. And you can see a little bit more spread out. Let's test it again. So this is a fast attack that actually hacks through your opponents while pushing them back using the V-pad. So I'm basically able to control where I want them to go. move on over here.
Nice.
All right, enemies, as you can see here, enemies are left bleeding, silenced by this awesome attack. In addition, you also gain some damage immunity. Now, they're a little bit too spread out, so I'm going to go ahead and reset again. Moving on to skill 4, which is Sacred Blow. You can see here she launches her spears. Athena then strikes again from above, and lowering your enemy's defense. Again, not only will this lower your enemy's defense, it'll cause stun, paralysis, and burn. Alright, move on to these guys over here for skill number 5, which is the Cosmic Weapon Raid.
Nice.
Do it from this angle, do it once more. And you can see she hurls her spear into the sky, and Athena's blades then rain down on her opponents, dealing additional burn and bleed damage, also increasing her basic attack by 10% for a brief period of time. Now let's move on to her Tier 3 ability.
Okay.
This is the Spear of Heaven. So using her eternal ability, Athena calls upon a multitude of spears, as you can see here. They barrage the enemy like bullets here.
Wow.
But I have to warm up the attack again. I'm just going to go ahead and... Give me just a moment to warm up that attack. Yep, as you can see also what you mentioned earlier, it's just similar to her other ability. The T3 ability leaves enemies both bleeding and damaged. She also gains a 50% increase for her basic attack, for her next attack actually, more accurately, and an 80% chance to penetrate her enemy's super armor defenses, and more. So let's take a look at it one more time. Once again, this is her T3 Spear of Heaven. Alright. Now, according to the developers, she is well suited also for PvE. They recommend canceling the third skill. Take a look at that. Oops, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm actually going to go do a correction for that, as the developer actually's notes have actually been updated. So unfortunately, I do not have any updated tips regarding Athena. So for that, you'll have to discover it for yourselves. And that does it for the modern uniforms. But of course, these characters also get an additional upgrade by new MC uniforms, which is what everybody really wants to see. So
including me.
That's right. So I'm actually going to go back in and dress them up. Let's do that.
Yay, yay.
There you go.
All right.
Start with Gilgamesh.
That guy looks familiar.
Get Kingo all dressed up as well.
Oh, hey. Looking good.
And then lastly, we're going to get Athena all set to go. All right. Now everyone's all equipped. Let's go ahead and go back to the beginning. We're going to start with Gilgamesh.
All right.
Let's take a nice little look at his uniform here.
I like it.
Right. I'm actually going to go ahead and read off some of the upgrades that come with just this uniform as well. So with it, by just equipping this uniform, he gains an increase in his basic defense by 35%, and chain hit damage received is decreased by 15%. Damage received from reflected physical attacks are also decreased by 80% as well.
All right.
Right, and also there's been also change to his tier 1. We didn't really discuss this for his when he first introduced him, but for his T1 Eternal Resistance skill, when his health is below 99%, he gains a basic defense increase of 10%. But while wearing this uniform, he gains an increase in his HP recovery from 4% to 6%. It's small, but every little bit counts.
Truly.
And this attack with this uniform, he also is going to be given 3 new skills.
All right.
All right, we're going to go ahead and test out skill 1. Again, skill 1 isn't the new skill, but we're just going to see how these skills look with the new look. You can see the change of the color change has been changed from blue to gold. This is skill 2, the Cosmic Punch, not the new skill. Skill 3, however, is new. This is the Cosmic Counter. And you see he kind of shields up there. This attack also removes any debuffs while also increasing basic damage by 13% for each percent of his accumulated damage. Victims of your attack will also be fractured and left incapacitated. You see he buffs up and then he gets an awesome attack. Skill 4, which is the Unstoppable Force. And of course, we know if we push and hold the button here, he's just going to keep on going.
I like that.
Yep. not new, but just cool to see the color change. And we're going to see the new skill, which is pretty cool. This is the Earth Wrath.
Oh boy, winding up.
Yeah. And you see again, he powers himself up and recovers 35% of his max HP. He then slams hard on his foes, causing these, as you can see, these earth-shattering blasts. And as a result, enemies' defenses are decreased, left fractured, and you gain a 50% increase to your next basic attack. Right.
Yeah.
With his uniform, we have no additional tips from the developers. They actually say to refer to the previous, what was mentioned previously for his for his modern uniform. All right, and that does it for Gilgamesh. So let us know what you guys think in the comments. Next on the list, we're going to try Kingo.
All right.
An important thing to notice as well is for Kingo, originally he was in his modern uniform, he is a speed character, while in his MCU uniform, he's actually been changed to a blast superhero.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He has the most wildly different change between this and his original uniform. Namely, he does resemble the way he does in the Marvel Studios movie, and his powers have changed completely. No more swords. He, he's doing this, he's shooting out energy from his fingers, and that'll help him a lot because he is also a Bollywood celebrity.
That's right. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of the uniform changes. So while wearing this uniform, this is mainly refers to his skills, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. So when using the explosive bombardment skill, which is his 5th skill, cooldown for his eternal burst skill, which is his skill 2, will be reset to just 1 second. Now for this skill, again, because he's been changed from a speed character to a blast character, all 5 skills have actually been given a change.
All right, let's go see those pew-pews.
All right, and that's what I'm here for the pew-pews. Skill number 1 is the Guidance of Light. Right, this is the iconic move you've seen in the films, and you can see it does energy damage. Moving on to skill number 2, this is the Eternal Blast. Where he calls forth a number of lights, and he just rains down on his deviant foes. These guys aren't deviant, but they're still foes.
Good enough.
Skill number 3 is the Unleashed Power. Now, if you notice, enemies are actually kind of pushed back, similar to his other skill. Try it again. Where he creates a defensive barrier that pushes enemies back, all while Kingo actually recovers HP and increases his defensive stats. And foes, again, caught in the blast will be left paralyzed. And since they're pushed back, I'm going to go ahead and reset. We're going to move on to skill number 4, which is one of my favorites. This is the Cosmic Cannon. This is that's right.
Yeah.
Move on to these guys over here.
I repeat, he is the most different from his comics appearance.
Yeah. They're
all a little different, but this is a complete change.
Yes. So I'm going to do it from this angle now. Again, now this is a unique attack where Kingo fires upon the floor, causing a number of blasts. So again, not only does this ignore your target's dodge rate by 40%, it'll also briefly increase your basic attack by 40%. I would just notice if from this angle, he just gets a little bit of a 1-2 shot before causing the blast to go off.
I mean, you got to show off the old razzle dazzle.
Of course. Gonna move on to skill number 5. We'll do it from our normal angle. This is the explosive bombardment skill. It's a little quick, but what happens is he actually maneuvers a little bit behind his foes. Yeah, he maneuvers dashes in between them or behind them and delivers an incredible explosion, reducing your enemy's defense and leaving them stunned. Kingo also gained a variety of buffs to his overall stats.
Nice, nice.
Now, they still say even with this uniform, he's still going to be hailed as a good PvE character. Skills 4 and 2 can be cancelled after the attack, making it easier to combo skills. Let's take a look. As for the recommended skill combo, they recommend using 2 cancel, 4 cancel after he does his gun motion, 3 cancel, 5, 2 cancel, or 2 cancel. They have a very long skill. We're actually going to go ahead. Let's just do this. See if we can do this. We're going to do 2 cancel, and then 4 cancel after the gun motion. 3, 5. Then because of his uniform, because after using skill 5, his cooldown is reset for skill 2. And that does it for Kingo's new skill, or his new uniform. Now we're going to move on to Athena. All right, so this is one of your favorite looks, Kim.
She is stunning. Look at her. A goddess. Brilliant.
Yeah, there's very good resemblance to what we see in the movie as well. Right. So some of her changes that come with this uniform is that her chain hit damage gains a 10% increase as she attacks, and she has guard break immunity. She also is able to decrease her basic damage. Any basic damage given to her is reduced by 35%. And with that, we're going to move on to see the actual active skills. With this skill, again, she is still a universal type superhero and has been given 2 enhanced skills. We are going to go ahead and cycle through some of her skills again to see how they look. Skill number 1 is not new. Neither is skill number 2. Skill number 3, however, is new.
All right. Ooh.
Move it again, try it over here. This is the skill number 3, which is the Sacred Strike. Here she harbors her cosmic energy into her spear and then releases it in a single strike. That allows her to accumulate true damage regardless of your enemy's defense and dodge rate. As you can see here, enemies are rendered silent, paralyzed, and bleeding. Alright, move on to skill number 4. Not new, that was the Sword of Conviction. Skill 5, however, is a new skill. Now this has some similarity to the previous skill. However, she summons a number of spears from the sky upon her foes and delivers an additional whirlwind-like strike, as you can see here.
Ooh.
There you go.
Nice, nice.
As you can see again, also enemies are burned and bleeding while Athena gains buffs for her overall stats. And just because we have her TP ready, let's go ahead and see how it looks.
Yeah. Ooh.
The skill is the same, but just looks all the more glamorous with the MC.
It's pretty glamorous.
And now that does it for the new characters and the new uniforms, but that's not all.
Very good. Oh, it's not?
That's not all. We have one additional feature that's going to be added as well with the update. So as you can see here on the main menu, we have a little bit of a new thing here called the Dimension Rift. It can also be accessed by entering Enter. And going to Challenge, and if you scroll to the right, you will see the Dimension Rift. Right. Now with this mode, again, you'll be able to work with your friends and alliance members to complete various objectives and earn bonuses through missions with this latest Dimension Rift mode. You'll also be able to access the normal Rift for free, and it can only be accessed once per day. And as you can see here, we're actually going to go ahead and play a little bit of this as well. Hacking the shield. All right, let's do it. As you can see, we have a time frame here for 30 minutes.
All right.
And just because I can, we're going to go ahead and do with our Eternals, which are already set to go.
Nice, nice. I'm ready for it.
Let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and see if we can. Again, with my Eternals already set up to go, it might be we might end up going through this pretty fast. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use Athena's. If enemies survive long enough, I can be able to test out Athena's new recommended skill combination, which is 3, 2, 5, and 4. Let's test it out. Put the cooldown. Oh, I have autoplay on that. Sorry, that's silly.
Turn it off.
I have it turned off. I'm sure the fans already noticed it as well. All right, let's try this.
Yeah.
We can use skills 3, 2, 5, and 4. All right, clear those enemies pretty easily. I'm just going to switch to Gilgamesh now. And his recommended skill combination with the uniform is 3, cancel 5, and 4.
Okay.
Right now, even with our characters pretty fully buffed up, enemies aren't going down easily, and this is on the normal difficulty. I'm gonna use his Transcendent Potential attack.
Mhm.
There wasn't anybody left. We're gonna go ahead and just give this poor soul a 1-2 using his combo.
Poor soul.
All right.
All right.
All right. Keep going through now. All right. Let's go.
Yeah. Whoa. It's hard for me to tell what's going on because I'm just seeing explosions and numbers.
Well, the more explosions, the more damage you're doing. So we're doing it right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna switch to Kingo, see if I can manage to pull off his recommended complicated skill. All right. Make sure my cooldown is all set to go. That's not Kingo. Now we're good. Now we're all set to go. All right. We're around. We're all set to go. Let's test it out. 2 cancel, 4 cancel, gun. All right.
4 cancel. Nope. I messed it
gun.
up.
3, 5, 2 cancel. I'm actually going to finish it off with his Transcendent Potential attack. All right, there you go. You actually managed to wipe all of it, except for that one guy who was out of range.
Booms and numbers, which I think it means it's good.
Oh, they're still alive. Well, not anymore. All right, press on.
Ah, there we go. There we go. All right. And Cage and Kingo.
I'm actually going to switch off to Athena for this one.
All right.
Alright, let's go ahead and finish
All
it
right,
off.
all right.
Alright, let's hit it.
That'll show them.
Ah, now this is something I actually mentioned to the developers before. Because this is a new test build, we have been told that this might crash only for us, because this is the once again the test build. This should be fine when you guys actually use the actual build.
Yeah,
go ahead and exit out for a brief moment. Yes, thank you.
A practice account in a build that's a completely different environment than what goes live.
Yes. So as far as some additional notes,
so
even though I can't access the build, I do have a couple of additional notes here provided to us by the developers. So as I mentioned, the access to the normal rift will be free, and it can only be accessed once per day. Also, by completing these missions, you'll be able to unlock higher difficulties, which are required by using items referred to as Dimension Rift Summon Stones. And the higher the level, the more the stones you'll actually need to actually access these modes. In addition to that, by completing that, you'll also be able to be eligible for what's referred to as MVP rewards, which can be used to access rewards such as artifacts. So something to look forward to. Now we weren't given too much information, as information has been kind of changing, quite honestly, throughout our time when testing the build by the developers. But they told us to let you guys know upon the time when the patch notes are released, there'll be much more detail, and you guys can enjoy that and let us know what you think in the comments as well. And now, of course, additionally, I wasn't able to actually because of technical difficulties, I can't access the epic quests. But of course, as you already know, 3 new characters will be added to the epic quests as well for the Eternals, and that is, of course, Athena, Kingo, and Gilgamesh. And I can go ahead and read off to you some of the stats that will occur when actually accessing with these characters. For example, if you were to choose Kingo, when you start the epic quest, Kingo, you will be given Kingo at a 1 star, and upon completion, you'll be able to transcend his potential. Now, for Gilgamesh, he can only be acquired by through the deluxe package, and upon completion, you'll be able to grow him to tier 2. Athena is much more unique now. So Athena can actually only be completed by also completing Circe, Icarus, Makari, Kingo, and Gilgamesh. So basically, once all the Eternals are completed, then you can access Athena's story. And once you start, Athena will be given at tier 1. And upon completion of her epic quest, you can get Athena to tier 3. And as far as how the stories goes, you'll just have to play through the game when it's live and let us know what you guys think of the Eternals story, and let us know which of their stories you found to be the most fun, or what you guys found to be the most engaging, which one you overall just enjoyed. So we look forward to seeing what your comments are for that. And that does it for the contents of v760.
Now I want to read some more live comments that you all have left for us. We had a second question, which was, what has been your favorite MCU related update in Marvel Future Fight this year? Cage, do you have an answer?
Oh, hands down, I would say Shang-Chi. Or Shang-Chi, my mistake.
Shang-Chi.
I enjoyed the epic quest, and honestly, I did enjoy the improvement that Shang-Chi finally got. In addition, Wenwu was just a real fun character, both in the film and in just in the game overall. So I think the combination of just two fun characters and a fun, I'd say epic quest, legendary battle. I think I think to me that was probably the most funnest MCU related update this year. But
All right.
what do our fans think?
Well, some of them actually agreed with me, so I'll say mine first.
Okay.
I loved the WandaVision update.
Of course.
I mean, I've mentioned before, maybe every update that we've done, Wanda/Scarlet Witch is my favorite character. So when I saw her new look on the show, the MCU show, WandaVision, I was shocked. I was stunned. I loved it. And then to see it come to life in the game was very exciting for me. Also, we had the White Vision
That's right.
that was in the show as well. So that was my favorite. It was a mini update, but as a fan of the original Marvel creation, I was very excited to see it.
I remember
And
the community highly wanting that. They've been praising and not praising. They've been dying for a WandaVision update, and when they finally give it to them, they went nuts. So we were definitely glad that everybody.
I went nuts when I found out about it.
That's
so
true.
Yeah,
I was there
I'm
when it
with
happened.
you. What's this? You know. Yeah. So some of the people agreed with me. Liam T has said I would have to say this one, Eternals or WandaVision. Shuma Frank Ofundu, please forgive me if I've mispronounced your name, also says WandaVision update.
Nice.
Jamie Maxism Johnson says Shang-Chi is the best MCU update this year. Yeah, we also have FDC 18 saying Loki equals best MCU related update. Johan S. Para has said WandaVision by far.
Really? A lot of WandaVision fans. Nice.
Dude Panther Zero, my fave MCU update was WandaVision. I loved the uniforms. I'm with you. Though, Mattis Margulis says, favorite MCU related update is Shang-Chi.
Nice.
Very fun to play with that character, and I love the story mode that came with it. And then there's 3 big grin emojis like this. So,
I'm with you there.
Big smiles for that one. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I'm glad you all seem to agree with us. But thank you for sharing your opinions with us, as always, about this. And that brings us to the end of the update stream.
The end already.
First, I know, right? But the things that we went over today, of course, new characters, Athena, Gilgamesh, Kingo, a new MCU Eternals uniforms for all 3 of them. And then we also had an update to Dimension Rift and Epic Quest. So that brings me now to the final part of the stream, in which we review the coupon code that you want for viewing the stream. Yes, we've been waiting for it all along. We have the coupon code is MFF Eternals. It doesn't matter what case you put it in. It could be all caps, could be all lower, could be a mix. We don't care. MFF Eternals. That will be posted in the comments. It's on the screen right now. And you have until 7 p.m. Pacific time to do this. This is only a little bit over an hour. So get in there as soon as you can. There's, of course, the original procedure available on Android, where you enter the coupon code in the coupon menu of the in-game setting menu. And then there's the other procedure, which is available on both Android and iOS. Enter the coupon code on the coupon registration webpage. Mods, please drop that link in there into the chat or the description. If you don't see it in the chat, wait a little bit. We might have it pinned, or it could be in the description. Just refresh, and I'm sure you'll see it either way. We'll be leaving the stream up for a little bit after Cage and I go, just so you can gather everything you need to claim that reward. Again, only until 7 p.m. Pacific time, just slightly over an hour. So you're going to want to get in there and get that reward as soon as possible. And I think that does it. I mean, Cage, do you want to leave everyone with anything?
Of course, just the usual. Once again, patch notes will be revealed sometime soon, closely when the update will be done as well. We are, of course, for all other updates, just stay tuned to our Facebook, Twitter pages. In addition to that, just remember to also see the Eternals in theaters. as that is what the update is based off about, and we guarantee that you guys will enjoy the content that we have planned for you guys. So once again, also be safe out there, have a safe holiday, and overall, just keep being awesome, agents.
All right, keep being awesome. We'll see you next time. Till then.
Bye bye.